I will never understand why this wasn't the case to begin with. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa, and let's talk about SMS Protect because Blizzard have made a huge update here. They've also told us what's happening to the service so we can break this down. All right, let's do it. You know, like, imagine being able, or not being able as the case may, or was, to play a game which is the sequel to a game that you've sunk potentially thousands of hours into, a game that Blizzard know everything about your account, and then suddenly when the sequel launches they go, you know what, we don't like the fact you've got a prepaid mobile phone contract, or you don't have a contract as the case may be, so you know what, we're not going to let you play our game because it goes against our new SMS protection, which we need in place to stop cheaters and hackers. Like, what the Christ kind of decision is that? Anyway, they've gone back on this, and I've got the details in this video, but I just wanted to get that out there because it is such a crazy decision that they would even contemplate that idea, knowing it would heavily impact players who have sunk tons and tons of time into the previous game, which is like a massive slap in the face. Anyway, check out this tweet. This was going viral, and this was moaning about the prepaid phone plan thing, going, oh my god, what the hell? You can't play it if you've got a prepaid phone. This is outrageous. And yes, it is outrageous, and it's totally justified moaning. Well, the two pictures this person actually tweeted, I think, are really great to look at because they sum up the situation better than I ever could. So look at this. The first person, this is so terribly sad. And you know what, guys? Like, thank you as well to everybody who has been DMing me on Twitter, sending me messages on YouTube, even on literally TikTok. I've had thousands of messages on TikTok of people going they can't play the game because they've got a prepaid phone, yet they've played the previous game. It's just crazy. Anyway, look at this. I am ashamed of having a prepaid phone. I'm ashamed. Like, I have Cricket Wireless. It's what my family can afford. I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to tell my family that we should switch because of a video game. Now I can't play Overwatch. I'm really sad about this. I've been playing with friends and family for years. Now I can't play with any of them because of my phone plan. I'm really upset and oddly ashamed for not meeting this standard. Never thought I would be disqualified from playing Overwatch based on my ability to afford a phone contract. But here we are. Blizzard is the first company to make me feel too poor to play a game. I mean, that is so sad. That is so sad. I mean, this person shouldn't be ashamed of themselves. Blizzard should, for even implementing this system in the first place in the way that they did. Oh my god, there's another comment though. So this one, I've been using a Walmart prepaid plan for 5 years and now I won't be able to play Overwatch 2. Starting October the 4th, 2022, all players across all platforms, including consoles, are required to have a phone number attached to their Battle.net account. This is the official Blizzard word, by the way. To launch Overwatch 2. The same phone number cannot be used on multiple accounts at the same time, and players can use the same phone number to create multiple accounts. A phone number can only be used when making a new account, and certain types of numbers, including prepaid and VoIP, cannot be used for SMS Protect. Even if you own a previous boxed version of the original Overwatch, you still need to activate SMS Protect to play Overwatch 2. And that final line there is the massive kick in the teeth for all of those Overwatch fans who've played the game for years and years and years, but just happen to not have a contract phone. Like, what the hell? Anyway, this poster then says, hopefully I can find a loophole, but there's a lot of people who use prepaid phone plans for things other than new accounts, and depending on how strict this is, it will alienate a lot. And then it goes into a bit more detail. So I think that sums up this SMS Protect scenario that we've all been dealing with. Now, there is one fact here. You have to stop hackers in free-to-play games. Overwatch goes from a paid game to a free-to-play game, so you need some sort of a system that will prevent players from destroying the game, whether that's in quick play, whether it's in competitive, or whatever. And there are loads of different ways of doing this, but Blizzard's method was to introduce this SMS Protect system, which, you know, you can't argue would have reduced the amount of hackers, because you suddenly need a prepaid, well, you need a contract phone, as we call it in the UK, basically a phone on a contract. Prepaid phones which you can get for, you know, literally $1 here or there, VoIP phone numbers you can get for literally cents, and you could just fire up account after account after account, is no longer the case because of this system. So it is needed in that way. The issue is the way it was implemented, because that system alienates all of the players that have been playing the game for years and years and years without any kind of problem, which it's crazy. Like, I don't know in what world whoever the hell implemented this system in the way it was implemented did not realize that stopping people who have invested hundreds and even thousands of hours into your previous game from playing the game when you have a ton of data on them so you know they're not bad actors, was a good idea. It is a laughably bad idea. And this is one of the issues that's really pissing me off with Overwatch 2's launch at the moment. The game itself is incredible. It's so good. I really enjoy Overwatch 2, right? It is, hand over heart, it's a better game than Overwatch, right? It's a different game, but I think it's better. It's more high energy. It's more fast paced. It's just a better game, I believe. But all of this is being overshadowed by all these crazy decisions. Anyway, let's go into detail on this blog post and see what Blizzard say. Hello, heroes. Yesterday was an exciting day for the Overwatch team, a day that we know you have been looking forward to for a long time, when millions of people have been enjoying the game. While millions of people have been enjoying the game, the launch has not met your or our expectations. First, we want to apologise to our players. We expected the launch of Overwatch 2 to go smoothly. We hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we are working hard to resolve the issues you are experiencing. We want to provide transparency on the issues we've fixed so far. Sorry, hang on. I'm getting hurt. I need to calm down. We want to provide transparency on the issues, fixes we have made so far, and give you all insight as to how we're moving forward. Right, okay, good. That's the preamble. Let's get into it. SMS Protect. We designed Overwatch 2 to be a live service, which enables us to be responsive to a variety of player feedback. We have made the decision to remove phone number requirements for a majority of existing Overwatch players. Any Overwatch player with a connected Battle.net account, which includes all players who have played since June the 9th, 2021, will not have to provide a phone number to play. I'll read that again. You will not have to provide a phone number to play if you have played since June the 9th, 2021. And this includes everyone before that as well, I believe, because I believe this is the date when it became mandatory to have a phone number linked with your Battle.net account, I believe, although don't quote me on that. But basically, if you've played Overwatch 1 at any point after the 9th of June 2021 and you didn't register a phone number, you will need to, and it will need to be a non-prepaid or non-VoIP number. However, if you've connected your Battle.net account before 2021, which will be the majority of Overwatch players, literally millions and millions and millions of players, then you don't have to worry about SMS Protect, because Blizzard have suddenly realized, hey, we don't need this level of protection for these accounts because we've got a ton of data on them anyway. So if they start being bad actors, we can just ban them, whatever. So this is a massive change, and this should have just been the case anyway. And as I said, whoever the hell thought it was a good idea to implement the system in its first guise is just like, it's a terribly bad decision. We remain committed to combating disruptive behavior in Overwatch 2. Accounts that were not connected to Battle.net, as well as new accounts, will still have to meet SMS Protect requirements, which helps us to ensure we are protecting our community against cheating. If a player is caught engaged in disruptive behavior, their account may be banned whether they have a new account or not. As a team, we will keep listening to ongoing feedback or make further adjustments in this area if it is required. So yeah, look, you need this. I mean, this will be fine on new accounts now. Well, I mean, it's not totally fine because there's still going to be people who just can't play because they don't have a contract phone number. They maybe do use prepaid or even VoIP. Probably prepaid, let's say. VoIP's probably the outlier. I think a lot of people using VoIP maybe to just abuse the game, although there will be still people using those numbers legitimately. But whatever. This is still going to restrict some people from getting access to the game, but it doesn't kick your existing, super fans in the teeth who have played the game for years and years prior to this point, who Blizzard were totally alienating. They're not doing that anymore, which is good. So yeah, this is okay. This is a fine compromise, and I'm okay with this. But at least they've rolled this back. I mean, for God's sake, yeah, I'm just so happy. So what about the login server, the game servers, and all of that stuff, the DDoS attacks? Well, there's a pretty lengthy update here from Blizzard, so let's get stuck into it. Queue issues, server crashes, and stability. The TLDR is, we have addressed some issues, are in the process of addressing others, but players should still expect to see queues. Login queues, server crashes, and stability problems are intertwined, so we'll talk about them together. Players may have been seeing their queue numbers jump around, going from a small number to a larger number. This is due to there being two queues for players, one through Battle.net, then one through the game itself. This process is usually invisible to players, but it was being seen in real time. We have made changes to simplify the queuing process, so players should now only be experiencing the one queue before entering the game. There are several areas we are working to improve stability. Today we've patched a server that is critical to the login experience, and this change has increased login reliability. Beyond queues, we're in progress with other server update that will reduce the occurrences of players being disconnected once they are already in the game. Finally, the player database is being overloaded, which cascades and causes a backup in the login system, which eventually leads to some people being dropped out of queues or being unable to log in at all. We're continuing to add nodes to ease the pressure on the player database. The process of adding nodes requires replication of data, which inherently adds pressure to an already stressed system. So we're doing it slowly to not cause any further disruption as devs and engineers work through separate issues. We are also currently throttling queue times in order to protect the player database as much as we can while we scale. This feels bad in the short term, but once it's done, will greatly improve the experience for players across multiple fronts moving forward. So what about problems with account merge, missing player items and data? The TLDR here is you have not lost any of your items or progress, though some players are logging in and seeing some or all elements missing from their collection. We've received a number of reports from players that their inventory in game is partially or totally reset. We've determined that the cause for this discrepancy in approximately half of reported cases is players having not yet completed their account merge. This is understandable. One cause for this is due to a bug with the launch build not providing an account merge prompt on some consoles. We rolled out a partial UI fix earlier today to help some console players progress through the account merge flow. However, we are still working on fixes for additional UI issues. In the other half of reported cases for this issue, things are taking longer than expected for items from the original Overwatch to transfer and populate in Overwatch 2. In all cases, no player data has been wiped or lost. We have a client-side fix for this that cannot be deployed until next week, so we are exploring server-side fixes that will provide updates as more information becomes available. There was a separate issue with account merge where players who had merged their console and PC accounts were experiencing problems logging in. This bug is now resolved. If you watched any community streamers on launch day, you might have noticed some had more trouble logging in than others. This bug was the primary cause for that. Incorrectly locked heroes and items for existing players. This is an issue separate from the account merge, but the player's experience is the same as above, where heroes and items that should be unlocked for existing players are appearing as locked. These cases are almost certainly related to our first-time user experience flow incorrectly being applied to existing players. We have seen relogging into the game resolve this issue in most cases. If you're experiencing this issue after taking these steps, please open a support ticket. On the day of launch, these issues were exacerbated by DDoS attacks. While they did not directly cause any of these issues, they made the environment in which we work on these issues more challenging. We have not suffered any further attacks. We are committed to keeping you all informed and provide more information as it becomes available. Please keep an eye on Play Overwatch on Twitter for additional updates. Thank you, heroes, the Overwatch team. So what I think is great with this is Blizzard are communicating with us in a lot of detail, and I think that is really, really good. I really agree with what they've done with SMS Protect. I think that's great. And what is also quite telling is the fact that they've had no further DDoS attacks apart from launch day. So all of the issues that we've been facing since then have been problems with the game, with the servers, and all of that stuff. And Blizzard are owning up to that and saying, look, we're trying to fix it. So you can't really ask any more than that. And you have to remember as well, this is a big change for Overwatch. You're going from a game that is not free to play to a game that is free to play with all of the extra crap that's required for that. And it's a huge strain. And of course, a lot of players are trying to log into Overwatch 2 because it's like the new game at the moment. People want to check it out, which also is quite sad as well, because if you think about it, this is the time where Overwatch has got the most spotlight on it and people are not actually able to play the game for most people. A lot of people can get in, a lot of people can't get in. I'll be completely honest, I think I've played like 4 games of quick play, and I tried to play competitive. If you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen the clip I put out, which was crazy. I shouldn't have been trying to play competitive when I know there's server issues, but I mean, I literally got kicked after about 4 minutes of the game, and it was quite annoying. But yeah, these are problems that hopefully will go away, and I want to play Overwatch, and I'm sure a lot of you guys want to play Overwatch as well. Okay, guys, thank you for listening or watching to the video. It has been my pleasure, as ever, to produce this. Remember, you can follow me on everything, which is @Stylosa. And if you want to send your replays in to appear on my Overanalyzed series, or my spectating Overwatch stuff, guess the rank and things like that, go to unitloss.com/overanalyzed and submit your replays away. Of course, if you can actually get into Overwatch. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.